So this is just a little melodrama breakdown for all of my internet aunies over 35 who really don't know what's going on.
Kenny's friends leak their group chat text message in which he is calling Janae the N-word. That is what this user is claiming. And it says his homeboys thought it was funny to leak their group chat messages, and it showed him calling his black girlfriend a N-word and laughing.
Like, I did not see that coming. I don't think a lot of us saw that coming, and my heart absolutely breaks for Janae. The fact that she has to even deal with this publicly is just so sad, and the worst part, because no matter where she goes, people are going to look at her and just think about the situation, and that is so not fair to her. But for the past 48 hours, everyone's trying to figure out, what can he do? What can he do? Janae's best friend just posted this. She said, "My advice for women in relationships. If you have access, go through your man's phone today. Search keywords like, I don't like black women. I thought I would get more money from this. I'm faking this relationship. Going on this show would be for clout. I can't wait to be done with this so I can F hella bees." What? This is absolutely...
Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to my Soft Power Up platform, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber to our feminine community, then hello and hi and welcome. So I wanted to share my hot take on this overall messy Janae and Kenny situation that, quite frankly, is not surprising at all, because this messy situation has performative storyline secured written all over it. Now, for those of you who have been rocking with this femininity platform since the beginning, you will already know that I'm pretty old school, so I am not the biggest fan of the time waster known as reality TV. And for the women who are a part of my inner circle or who have been influenced by my platform. And of course, how you decide to aura farm your energy is completely up to you, but I will always encourage women to invest their frequency into developing their cultural capital, because being a smart feminine woman will always be about getting a better return on your energetic investment. But with that being said, this case study video is for my young and for my impressionable girls who need a fresh point of view away from the echo chamber and who need a feminine school lesson on why it is so important to be careful about what you emotionally invest in. But so many of you have wanted me to chime in on these Love Island shenanigans, even though I personally believe that reality TV is super contrived and is as real as a $3 bill. But what can I say? Women insist on emotionally investing into these storyline secured fantasies and getting their hearts crushed and absolutely broken once the truth of who these men are kicks them square in the teeth and puts them in a very embarrassing blender. Now, not to be the fun killer, but reality TV to me is like what WWE wrestling is to men. It's messy, chaotic, full of melodrama, and is a guilty pleasure of distraction. And I get it. With wrestling, it is all a fake storyline to give men the ability to channel their testosterone. And with shows like Love Island, it gives women a place to have their desirability fantasies validated. But the thing about the reality TV dynamic that no one often talks about is that it is a business. And with a business, the mantra will always be no business, no show. So in reality, with very few exceptions, the talents that tend to sign up for these shows are very much performative actors, and unfortunately, being embarrassed or humiliated is the risk that these women take when signing up for these reality shows for a career. The casting directors and the producers are not thinking about representation and optics, and they are not thinking about how your heart can be shattered into 1,000,001 pieces. The main objective of these productions is for profit entertainment and to not create a boring product. So as a result, they want drama, they want pre-humiliation, and they want post-humiliation, and they want chaos, because that is what sells. And once the waivers are signed for a check, it is game on. So with that being said, Love Island as a business strategy has definitely hit a lick and has most certainly pandered to black women, to darker toned black women who are very large consumers of these kinds of shows, only to turn around and to soft humiliate them with these nasty off-camera breakups such as Janae and Kenny. And now we are finding out that this slime called her all types of N-words behind her back. And like I've said in many of my other videos, and I do not care if saying this makes me the villain, and you can go argue with the wall, but I am so tired of the endless TikToks and the sad as HE double hockey stick free pedestalized promotion that black women give these men of other races and other cultures and other cultural dynamics to make them feel as if they are the prize when they haven't earned it. Because quite frankly, this promotion has caused men from the gutter into thinking that they are better than black women. This unearned promotion is very duping and very goofy and very damaging to the collective of black women's self-esteem and the black woman's image. And it makes black women look very thirsty and very mentally unstable creatures who are allergic to common sense when we hand out unearned praise. And this unearned praise is definitely not doing our collective femininity any favors when we are aggressively drooling over men who do not go out of their way to drool over you. This unearned promotion without a lack of vetting is the same reason why Rachel is paying alimony to a reality TV clown who made significantly less money than her. So what ends up being a so-called harmless form of entertainment ends up turning into real life hurtful consequences and a real life humiliation ritual. And with Love Island, it appears that black women as a ratings strategy are being used for their thirsty eyeballs or as a fake love performative meal ticket to a finale, only to find out that these relationships are either phony, fabricated, super forced, or used for clout to build or launch careers. And sadly, Ms. Janae and her grand opening, grand closing relationship was sleeping with the enemy and with a man who faked it for an entire year. And to see this beautiful woman, this absolutely stunning woman, being post-production humiliated by this slime is absolutely shameful and heartbreaking. Now, ladies, when a man is not into you, dare I say that the signs are always there. Women just choose to ignore them because they don't want egg on their faces. And it is even worse when the man is of another race or another culture, because then there's that added pressure to prove to the world that not only are you desirable to other races of men, but there is also that added pressure to prove that you can actually make it to the altar and live happily ever after. And unfortunately, the reality show aspect just turns everyone into this mechanical performative robot for a check. And it just makes everyone just act very fake and phony for a come up or to get to the finish line for clout. And ladies, never ever underestimate how far a person is willing to go to build a starter kit for their careers. So ladies, you don't need signs of when a man is phony when you know how to vet. So the lack of hypergamous vetting is the core issue here, because a man who is into you will give you his all, and his all includes his wallet. But generally, if you don't have a ring within 6 months to a year, then you know the drill. You're someone, but you're not the one. And if a man is not making you feel loved and invested in, then that is not your husband. Simples. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. Kenny can go to the lower levels of hell. Ms. Janae will be okay, and hopefully she will learn from her mistakes, because mistakes are the cost of becoming wiser. But to get this conversation started, do you believe that these relationships are real, or are they just work opportunities where people are pretending to be in love? Are reality shows bad publicity for black women? And do you want to be with a man if you have to go all up and down through his phone? And as always, I thank you for liking, for subscribing, and for sharing the videos to further grow this platform. And please stay tuned for more videos to come. And I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers in the next one.
They never should have been together. Now, I said that back when she was in the villa and y'all drugged me for it. The reality is that they're two different people. Not to mention, she was into Kenny more than Kenny was into her. Okay. And this is the toxic side of the black women glow up. Okay. Pouring their all into a man only for them to do what? Cheat. Unfortunately, I think that Janae was way into Kenny more than Kenny was into her. And at times it felt the relationship was kind of performative. I think she really loved him. Deep loved him. She would have married him tomorrow if she could. But Kenny was just not that into her. And it's hard for us to recognize that he just wasn't. Okay? But they're also age different lifestyle-wise, and the pressures of the show. I think being that villa bubble does something where there's no pressure, nobody in DMs, no marketers, no money dangling in your face. It's just you and that person. But once you're out of the villa, it's the pressures of media, money, influence, pressure. And that show really gave her a bad edit. At times, it felt like he didn't want to deal with her. He wanted space. But instead of communicating that this isn't working for me, I want to be a regular guy. I'm not into the limelight. I love it for you, baby, but I don't love it for myself, and be secure enough to let her do her thing and you be back here. It was a pressure of them as a couple, two people together. They come as a package deal. And sometimes in relationships, you need some differentiation. You need to be like this sometimes. It don't always got to be like this. But when you're a package deal, at times it's exhausting. And I think Kenny should have had a voice where he could have said, hey, this isn't working for me. I love you, but it ain't working. All right. But instead, he cheated. allegedly. He got caught up in all that, maybe the money, the glitz, the glamour, that all the attention he had never gotten before. Another thing, he's a late bloomer. Okay, he's a late bloomer, and she's somebody who is a star, and she needs someone who will have her star be up here and up here and up here, and you as a man are comfortable to be down here. But too many times we see Black women evolving, thriving, doing the damn thing, only for what? To be hurt by somebody who isn't to their caliber.